9.225, and here goes Shelley on the beam. This is a big moment for her.
This is also a critical event for Shelley. She had a fall here in the team competition. Surprisingly, Shelley actually had 2 falls. She had a fall on the uneven bars and a fall here, but the judges really like her. She's scoring very, very well. If she can stay solid throughout the competition, she'll stay right up there.
Kathy, she had a 9.475 in the optionals.
And that was with a fall.
Shelley has changed gyms 8 times in her career. 3 times she's been in and out of Bella Caroli's program down in Houston.
Ferrati had a 9.2. So here's an excellent chance now for Shelley to overhaul her and take the lead in this 3rd rotation.
Now Shelley changed Cypress Academy with Debbie Teichuk.
She has a unique style on the balance beam. She's very aggressive, very quick movements. Opened up with a strength move called a reverse plunge. Here's her critical pass. It's 2 back handsprings into a layout pike somersault. Right here. Very nicely done. See her movement very crisp, very quick on the balance beam. This is a very tough pass. Front somersault immediately into a back tuck. Here's the front. She left it out. Probably a smart move. She was a tiny bit off on that front. Sometimes in international competition, when the gymnasts perform on the podium, the balance beam can be very shaky up on that podium. You have to adjust to that. I think that's why we've seen some falls. Round up double back. Good landing.
She needs a 9.45 to take the lead. Is it there?
I think it's possible.
Shelley Stack on the beam. Strong performance. Has a chance to take the lead. Stack has taken the lead in the women's all-around. We're still in the 3rd rotation. She had a 9.575 in the beam.
The dismount was just beautiful. Tuck double back. Watch this landing. Right in there.
So now her teammate Stephanie Woods ready to go in the floor exercise. Now she needs a 9.6 to tie Shelley for the lead at the end of this 3rd rotation. Boy, it's taken a long time. It's been an arduous process here to get the judges to come up with the results. These young ladies have been standing seemingly forever.
And the scores have been quite unpredictable. Shelley Stack the other day fell off the beam and scored a 9.475. Today she hit her routine perfectly and got only a 9.575. A fall usually is 0.5 of a point deduction.
Now Stephanie Woods in the optionals in the floor had a 9.35.
This is probably Stephanie's weakest event, not because of her dance. Her tumbling is a little weaker than some of the top gymnasts in the competition. But if she really hits, she is capable of a higher score.
Giordani of Argentina, that was her score, a 9.4. So Stephanie now is ready to go. This being the last routine here in rotation number 3.
You hear the whistles from the crowd. They don't like the fact that the scores are coming up too late either.
I don't either. Again, she needs a 9.6 to tie Shelley. 9-6 would pull her into a first-place tie with 1 rotation to go. That's much better than what we saw in the optionals. She hit everything much, much firmer, didn't she, on her landings?
Being congratulated there by Cheryl Jarrett, one of her coaches down in Austin. And as you mentioned, Kathy, her tumbling, the level of difficulty in her tumbling is not that high, but she does tumble very cleanly, and her landings were excellent. It'll be interesting to see what the judges do with this routine, because she needed a higher level of difficulty overall, but the total presentation was lovely. Tumbling was adequate.
This was the weakest of her tumbling passes. It's a whip back due to a double twist, and you can see when she lands, she has to pike down, so her chest is a little low. That'll be a slight deduction.
Remember now, her best routine is coming up in the 4th rotation, that being the vault. But right now, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with the 4th and final rotation.
And we'll be going back to Santiago for the finish of the women's.
Get to Gary Bender in Santiago de Cuba.
We have a tie for first after 3 rotations between Shelley Stack and Stephanie Woods. We mentioned that Stephanie needed a 9-6 on the floor exercise to move into a tie for first, and that's exactly what she got, a 9-6. And now heading to the vault, Shelley Stack will be on the floor exercise. Luisa Perante of Brazil is in the 4th position, and she's ready to roll right now on the floor exercise. So it's very tight in the run for the medals.
And she dropped to 4th because of a fall on the balance beam. Lisa's 19 years old, 5'5". Very, very tall for a gymnast. Full twisting double back. Very powerful tumbler.
It's interesting, when we first saw her a few years ago make her move on the international scene, she was almost a foot shorter than she is now, and all that growth, and she still is a wonderful gymnast.
Coming into this now, she's .10 out of first place. That shows you how tight it is.
Another high tumbling pass. The judges are looking for the amplitude on this passes. Good, clean landing. She's very expressive choreography. Really uses her arms nicely.
Needs a 9.075 to tie for the lead. She doesn't need a lot out of this, but of course that depends on what Stephanie and Shelley will do later.
With a double twist, not one of the most difficult tumbling passes to end with, particularly at this level. But the first 2 tumbling passes were very nicely done. Nice choreography.
Rio de Janeiro in Brazil.
Her opening tumbling run was a full twisting double back. There's a full in the first flip and a tucked back flip, almost a piked back flip in the second flip. And her final run, as you mentioned, Kathy, is a back flip with a double twist. She keeps her body laid out and makes 2 twists. Strong finish.
Luisa Perante of Brazil. Shelley Stack is coming up next as we await the score on Perante. Shelley Stack in the optionals had a 9.625 in the floor exercise.
She performed one of the best floor routines she's done in quite a long time. She's been having some trouble with the first tumbling pass, which obviously will be the crucial segment of her routine here.
You would figure, though, Stephanie Woods really is in a good position. Coming up on her best event as she awaits all this.
She's in a great position. She has an exceptional vault. Very capable of coming up with a big score there.
And she gets 2 tries to do it. In the all-around competition, the women do 2 vaults, and they take the best score of the 2.
So the drama building. Perante waiting on her score. Shelley Stack wanting to go on the floor exercise, and Stephanie Woods waiting to attempt her vault later here in this 4th and final rotation.